But here we are, back again after our bi-weekly podcast. It feels like this has turned into due to adulting. Um, on the way to the chamber. Start this off right, Dan.
Yeah.
Why does the chamber feel like the most undervalued event? I was thinking about this while I was watching Raw. Like, I feel like it should be hyped more than it actually is, right? Because there's a lot riding on it, and I don't think it ever gets the credit it deserves. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I would agree with that. I mean, certainly now that they've, now, I don't know how many years it's been since they made it so that it's the, well, I guess ever since they had a second belt, like that they've made it that, like, okay, like, well, the Royal Rumble winner gets their choice, but you get the other champion,
yeah,
right? So,
like it's the
like,
final
here we
step
go.
before that. Yeah, it's like the end
Yeah.
all be all. Like if you screw up here, you're not getting your shot, right? Like it, and like I get it. Like the matches over the years really haven't been top tiered matches, right? Like, but this card is looking pretty damn good. Um, if they keep having the Royal Rumble overseas in Saudi, do you think that helps the Elimination Chamber gain some traction to become more popular?
I mean, I think it could, but I don't think they're going to continue. Like, I unless I've missed some
Like announcements or anything?
like announcements. Like, I assume that they, like, not that they'll never do one in Saudi again, but I would assume that they're going to continue to just move it around, and it'll be back either stateside or Canada maybe at some point or something like that. Just with a quick Google, there's no official announcement, but they're talking about Miami is pushing hard for it. Um, so
Well,
yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
But yes, if they were to do that, where they said the Royal Rumble is going to stay in Saudi, yeah, I could see that.
I could see that happening as part of like the 5-year deal, whatever they got. Like it's like you have to have at least one of the big four over there for the next 5 years, right? Because they're doing
Yeah, I mean, but that's easy.
Mania
I
over
mean,
there,
they're
right?
already like doing that, right?
Yeah,
Like Mania's next year there.
which is
Mania's next
what?
year there, so they could do a Survivor Series there, and I guess eventually a SummerSlam there. And now you've done 4 out of those 5 years, right? Is you've given them one event and not having it made the same event.
Do you think it's
Um,
still going to be two nights over there from Mania?
I assumed it was, but then I did see like either a clip or I read an article. Was it Bully Ray saying he doesn't believe they'll do both nights over there? He thinks it'll be one and one. The logistics on that seems like a nightmare to me. Like, because they're basically going to, they have no choice but to have two sets of people for each show if they're doing, because like the travel would make it impossible, right? To,
Yeah, fly people in.
with the exception of maybe a couple of people that could leave right away and head back to the United States for the next day, it would be impossible, including like Triple H can't be at both, most likely, like unless he just fuels up on zero sleep, I guess. But like,
And
I guess
sticker
it depends
protein
on where
bars.
it is. Yeah, I guess it just depends on where it is. But like, even if you leave the minute the night one ends, which I suppose, depending on what they do about the time thing, would be, you know, nighttime there, but our time in the afternoon, flies right away. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so I have trouble believing um they're going to be doing 2 nights in 2 different spots like that. You know, it'd be interesting if they ever thought to do that like stateside, right? Like do night one in, you know, Los Angeles and do night 2 in, wherever, right? Like pick a different state, even if it's on the opposite coast. You're only talking a 3-hour time difference, so travel isn't as much of a problem.
Or
We, I wonder if that would make it a way to maximize even more so. I mean, they're going to sell the tickets either way, I guess, but like,
they're struggling now for Mania this year stateside. They're struggling.
yeah.
And
I think eventually though it'll. I mean, at the
yeah,
end of the day, they'll still get there.
sure.
Especially once you form more of the matches, right? Like, right, we only really know what one match for sure in Mania. You know?
No, they're supposedly between, depending on who you listen to, they're 10 to 15,000 tickets off from where they were last year at this time. That's a lot of fucking
Yeah.
tickets.
I'm just wondering where, like, the difference of like how many matches were confirmed at this point versus last year at this time.
Yeah, I
Because like I
think it.
said, we only have one that we know for sure, Punk and Roman, right? There's nothing else that's been confirmed. I don't think.
Yeah,
Punk Roman to be determined versus Liv. Oh, McIntyre versus whoever wins the Chamber, right? And then
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, and that's the weird thing too. Like, it's partly due to the TKO ticket pricing that I called out earlier in the year too, right? Like they think like wrestling. I don't know. It's different for UFC fans because if you want to watch professional MMA, you have to make your way to a UFC event, right, in person. Like
Yeah.
you can't like PFL is not hitting all the cities I think ESPN thought it would. Like you could get the streaming apps, but if you want to be there in person, you have to pay the top line price for a UFC event, right? You
Yeah.
don't always have to pay the top line price to see top wrestling talent at a WWE event. I mean, how many people over the last year and a half have that we've seen at an ESW show multiple times show up on the main roster for TNA, show back up in WWE, show up on
Right.
GCW, right? It's not always like the branding helps get you over, but if you're good, you're going to be good no matter where you are, right? And I think that's the one thing that I think TKO or Endeavor, whoever you want to call it, the monster in charge is kind of forgetting about wrestling. Like, you don't really need to do that. Like, and that's kind of the gripe that we've had with Tony Khan all this long. Like, if you just stop booking massive arenas, and just think if he downgraded from basketball arenas to doing like minor league hockey arenas, it would be a drastic difference, right?
Right.
The crowd would look 10 times bigger. It would be a more compact event with everybody on the side. The crowd feels like it's louder. Like that's the thing to do when WWE is starting to do these international shows. And to be honest, these Saudi crowds, they suck. I don't care if
They do
Department of
suck.
Homeland comes to my door and knocks 3 times. They're fucking terrible. Like I just like I get it. They paid you what? Was it $50 billion or $5 billion over 5 years or whatever? It's just they're terrible. They are a terrible sports crowd. And I can understand why they're just getting season 13 of The Simpsons right now because of that. There's no personality over there. There's nothing. Like, so if that's the case, like TNA, which I know is technically owned by WWE now, but like AEW can really make a push if they just get their shit together on planning and strategy ops. Like, they could really, like, okay, cool, you can have all that. Watch how many people jump off your house shows and come see us. Just this past week, Brody Lee had, or Brody King had the crowd chanting "fuck ice" as soon as he walked out. It's the hottest show. When's the last time that you've seen an AEW storyline or announcement make over a dozen online published websites that aren't wrestling websites. It made the John Oliver show.
Right.
And then they come out and say there's an article out a day or two later saying that those that are in charge are not a big fan of what's occurring. That's your bread and butter. That's like Vince McMahon coming out at the peak of Stone Cold and saying, "No, no, Austin, we don't want you to tell people you just kicked their ass. Got it? So let's just stop at the 316 and we'll put that on t-shirts." You you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's dumb. But I guess right now, nosebleed seats for on Saturday, night of WrestleMania 42, will set you back $285, including fees, rising 10 times that much and more for floor seats. I mean, yeah, I just 10 to 15,000 seems like a lot to make up in a little over a month, right? I mean, granted, they're gonna lie about the ticket count.
Half, I guess.
Yeah,
Well,
fair.
no, 2 months. 2 months because it's April 18th.
Oh
So
yeah,
just
it's
about 2 months.
it's Easter weekend again. Um, yeah, so it's like I don't know, like it just feels. What are we doing? Like that's kind of what it feels like here. Like it just like this is kind of the fear I had of like this is kind of I had a feeling they would do this. But anyways, back to the elimination chamber. Dan, I dug up some trivia for you. Okay,
Okay, here we go.
can you name the so top three most chamber appearances? It is six different individuals. There's three people tied for the third spot, two at the second spot, one holds the overall number one spot.
Oh, geez. Let's see.
Some might say that the number one spot is the original Legend Killer.
I was gonna say I was so my first guess was gonna be Randy Orton.
Cage side
Um,
seats has him at 9, soon to be 10 appearances. The number two spot, there's two individuals.
I mean, after Randy, I'm gonna have a lot of trouble here. So let's see.
This guy was a doctor.
Dina.
Yep. Yep. He's at 8,
Okay.
and
Okay.
and so is this appearance from an individual that was supposedly an executive at one time at AEW that we've all been waiting for to show up at WWE.
Oh, so that's got to be Jericho.
Correct.
Jericho isn't that many. I don't
8,
remember
I
that
guess.
at all.
I know. But you got to remember, a lot of them, I believe, was when he had that short Ellen DeGeneres haircut. So like, it's kind of forgettable.
Yeah. I mean, after that, I mean, I'd just have to go back to guys who were super popular.
Well,
Like
one of the
either like Michaels or Triple H,
so triple
Shawn
so
Michaels or Triple H.
so the King of Kings is one of the three individuals at the third spot. One of them's a female, and it's got mentioned
That's
on Raw.
isn't that if one's a female, that's Liv, right? That was
Yep,
talked about last year, right? Like she's got the most
she's at
experience.
6, I think now,
Yeah,
currently.
okay. So that makes sense.
And then the other is the fake Jamaican.
Kofi Kingston, really?
Yeah, he's at 6.
He's on that list?
Yep.
I really don't remember that either. Kofi in 6 elimination chambers?
Nope. And the most eliminations, Jericho with 10, Orton at 8, CM Punk and Triple H at 7.
That's interesting too.
Here you go. The average chamber match length is supposedly 30 minutes and 12 seconds. Now, you should be able to guess this because this individual has been involved in a lot of squash matches. It happened in 2022. It was 14 minutes and 55 seconds long. Who do you think this wrestler was? It is a male wrestler. Oh, and of course, it's in my favorite place in the world, Saudi. So he's loved over there, and it's not the
So
big red
that's
moron.
so longest in Elimination Chamber 2022 that
No,
and loved in Saudi.
it is the shortest chamber match ever.
Shortest chamber match
Yep.
ever. Loved in Saudi. It's not Undertaker, so it's Brock Lesnar.
Correct. Yep. Now this is crazy, right? Listen to this. Entering the match as a replacement for the injured Bobby Lashley, Lesnar eliminated all 4 competitors: Seth, Riddles, AJ Styles, and Austin Theory in 15 minutes.
So a squash in an elimination chamber that's an elimination chamber's version of a squash.
Against
It takes what there's 4. It takes 8 minutes to get all the competitors in the ring in the first place.
Yeah.
So it was only
7 minutes and 55 seconds.
Actual match.
Yeah. And
the full match because
2 individuals who you could probably put on the Mount Rushmore of the greatest performers of our generation. They were told that they have to squash out to Lesnar. That is wild. Wild. Now, I guess there's supposedly only 25 chamber match winners. There has been 8 that are batting perfectly, winning the only match that they ever competed in. There is, 8, like I said. You want to take a guess? And then I can run off the list if you don't think of any.
Wait, say it again.
So there've been 25 chamber winners, okay? Only 8 there's 8 individuals winning the only match that they ever competed in. So they did it once, they won, and they've been done.
Oh,
you
Lord.
You just named one of them.
Lesnar?
Yep.
Only won one?
I think he's only been in one. It was 2022.
Oh, and he won it. Okay,
yep.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's Saudi, so they paid a little extra. The big dog?
I mean, Roman Reigns, okay.
Yep.
And that surprises me a little bit. But then again, I guess not, because you wouldn't be in that match if you were already on top.
He's 2018.
So, yeah.
Becky was 24.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler, COVID 2020. That sums up COVID perfectly. That is COVID.
A lot of good that did her.
That is COVID. A fan favorite, my personal favorite, as you know, Bray in 2017. The definition of steroids will ruin your brain cells, Ryback, 2015. And was that the year that he threw Punk out of the ring and broke his rib or his hip? I think that was the year. Remember that on the Colt Cabana podcast?
Elimination Chamber he did that?
No, not during. No, it was during when Ryback was getting the push. That's why they put Punk in there with him, because Vince was so keen on this is what my title guy needs to look like, a roided out white supremacist. Here's one here's 2 that you probably won't remember. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Jack Swagger 2013. I do not remember that. Was that when he had Dutch as the manager?
Probably.
because he was getting a push from Vince too. This is also crazy. I didn't know this ever existed. Xavier Woods, 2015. That's wild.
I like vaguely
But
remember
then
that
that,
because it like
but were there two that year? Because they said 2015
well, see that's the thing. This wasn't always its own pay-per-view, right? Like it was a
fitted in,
wasn't
right?
it just a match occasionally? Like kind of like not like Money in the Bank wasn't always a Money in the Bank match wasn't always its own pay-per-view either, right?
Right.
Sometimes.
So here it
Like I
is.
feel like the Elimination Chamber was originally not its own show. It was just a match that happened during a specific type of show.
So right. So May 31st, 2015, Xavier Woods helped the New Day retain the WWE Tag Team Championship in the first ever Tag Team Elimination Chamber.
Well, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
And then who was Ryback against then? So was that on the same date? Did he win that?
So
Yeah, he beat This is, oh my. I'm gonna about put a hole through my goddamn TV at this point. Then you don't realize how bad booking was when we were so excited for event until we actually pulled this stuff up and was like, oh no, I could see it. Vince was definitely on the ski slopes when he was writing out these cards. That's the only thing that makes sense. Ryback defeated Dolph Ziggler, no chance in hell. R-Truth, Mark Henry, and Sheamus. 4 guys that are going into the Hall of Fame.
and Wade Barrett.
Oh, and was Wade in there as well?
Yeah, because I was just starting to pull it
Jesus
up.
Christ.
And that match was for the vacant Intercontinental Championship at the time, according to this. It wasn't even for that. I don't remember that pay per view at all, but that was a weird one because they had the tag team chamber that you
Yeah.
just mentioned and the Ryback chamber, which was for the Intercontinental deal. And then I'm just looking at this card now in general. It's just a weird card. You got the tag team one, and the New Day goes over with. I mean, these tag teams are terrible too. Primetime Players, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, The Ascension, the Lucha Dragons, and Los Matadors. Then you have so the Divas Championship was still active back then. So you had Nikki Bella defeating Naomi and Paige. You had maybe what probably could have been the best match of the show. I don't remember, but NXT champion at the time, Kevin Owens versus John Cena as US champion, champion versus champion match. And Kevin Owens wins. Neville versus Bo Dallas in just a random singles match. And then the Ryback Chamber for the Intercontinental. And then Dean Ambrose defeats Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship when Rollins was part of the Authority and Roman Reigns was barred from ringside. Like, what a weird frigging card on top of it all. Oh, and it started the dark match, the pre-show match was Stardust defeating Zack Ryder. Nice little trivia there.
Yeah. Well, here you go. It gets even crazier. Daniel Bryan is the only wrestler in history to have multiple title defenses in the chamber, retaining the world title in 2012 and the WWE title at the beginning of Kofi Mania in 2019. Now, are you ready for some Cena facts? John Cena has the dubious distinction of being the only wrestler in history to lose their title in multiple chamber matches, losing his world title to Edge in 2009, the WWE title to Bray in 2017. Cena is only one of only 2 wrestlers, Drew in 21, to lose their title to a Money in the Bank cash-in immediately following a successful title defense in the chamber. And Shayna Baszler is the only person to run the table in the Chamber match, pinning all 5 women in 2020 Chamber, en route to losing her title match to Becky at WrestleMania 36. That did wonders.
Yeah, sure did.
This is just nuts, man. Just nuts. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of history here. This kind of. Well, and here you go. Take a wild guess at this then. In 2002, there was a specific general manager that introduced the WWE Universe to this Elimination Chamber match. Can you name the guy?
No.
His best-selling book is The Way I Live My Life, Daniel. Controversy creates cash.
Mr. Bischoff, huh?
Yep. That's crazy.
By the way, another fun fact, because we were talking about it, so I looked it up. The Elimination Chamber match debuted at Survivor Series in 2002.
Yeah. So that was Sean,
Interesting
right?
that it was Survivor Series, you know? Um, and then so throughout the 2000s, it has been featured on different events, most notably No Way Out, SummerSlam, and New Year's Revolution. And then it was established as its own standalone pay per view in 2010, replacing No Way Out as the standard February event. So it's
Interesting.
been this will be 16 years of it being its own, but it, 8 years of it being kind of pushed around to different ones.
Interesting.
Oh, and in 2015, it was briefly replaced by the Fastlane
Ugh.
Premium Live event due to logistical issues with hanging the structure in certain arenas.
So it's
Interesting.
just too big.
Yeah, or too heavy. It weighs 10 tons. The structure weighs 10 tons.
Yeah. Um.
Now I got to see who was in the first ever one. Let's look at that.
I'm gonna say Sean was in that one. I think I was right on that. I don't know who else would it be.
Results. Yes, Shawn Michaels defeats Triple H, Chris Jericho, Kane, Booker T, and
Jesus.
Rob Van Dam in the first ever Elimination Chamber match for the World Heavyweight Championship.
So was that before the last DX reunion then? Right? That had to be before, right? Before they all came out and decided to stop swearing because it was a kid-friendly show and they all went corporate.
Maybe. Ric Flair was with Triple H in his corner for that.
So that was part of Evolution Days?
I don't know if it was part of Evolution. It is part of their feud though, because it says in the aftermath, Michaels and Triple H continued their feud over the championship. On the November 25th episode of Raw, Michaels defended the championship against Rob Van Dam. However, he retained the title by disqualification when Triple H attacked Van Dam. Yada yada yada.
So looks like Evolution debuted January 20th, 2003. So that led into Evolution.
So Evolution came later, yeah. Yeah. But then, yeah, so later, so at Armageddon, Triple H defeats Michael in a 3 stages of hell match to win the title with a street fight, steel cage match, and a ladder match. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. It's something out there, right? Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for Dude Wipes to be to be plastered all over the chamber because did you see that's the new official sponsor or official partner of WWE? Dude wipes.
I did not see that.
So that's fun. Shift gears real quick. Something I've called out, something that you called out over the last year, came to fruition this weekend, Dan. With the father that owns the Jacksonville Jaguars and his ski slope son. WBD owns a part of AEW.
Oh yeah.
Now, at some point, Uncle Dave's going to have to give us our apologies. Because we said from the get-go, this deal doesn't make sense unless they're getting some type of ownership. And what do you know? The two guys doing this part-time are better than Uncle Dave. Supposedly. As it said, and it's weird. Let's go back to the origin story of this. How did you think this ended up at CNN of all places?
I don't know specifically, but I would assume, although I guess it would have been more mainstream news, but there was that. I haven't followed up on it in a while, but there was that lawsuit that AEW was in
Oh,
with a former employee, and they lost. They lost their motion to hide their ownership interests, and like the judge basically said, if I remember correctly, back then, this was probably a year and more than a year ago.
yeah, because we talked
The
about
judge
that.
basically said, yeah, the judge basically said, look, like you have to release this information, or you can go back to a different kind of court. And they were like, we don't want to go back to that court, so we'll just do it. And they like withdrew their motion to hide it. So I would assume it came out, through that. Now I don't know if it was readily available because some of that stuff would be public, some wouldn't, or if it got leaked to CNN. But I don't know, like, but that's where I would assume it came from. But CNN's also owned by Warner Brothers, so like, you know, maybe they know because of that. Like
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know exactly how it works, but you know, CNN must have you know ability to see like ownership in its own owner too, like whether in some kind of like maybe yearly report or some filings, right? That's the other thing, like I would assume WBD has to make certain filings that would say this, but I don't know.
Yeah. So obviously he's been asked several times, and he's denied this, stating he owns 100% of the decision making. But that's probably how he clarifies it. He owns 100% of the decision making.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think his answers have always been very like carefully crafted to not deny nor confirm, but always just go back to I have full control, which is not to say I'm 100% owner, right? Like, like I have full control over creative and operational like decision making. Okay. Like that doesn't mean, you can own 90% and still have full control because you're the majority shareholder in that sense.
Right.
Well, it's not shareholder because it's not AEW is not public, but you know, I would assume though, like I don't know. I don't know. I guess my guess would be is CNN just knows because they're in the ecosphere. So, and Warner Brothers is publicly traded, so I would assume there's a filing somewhere that talks about this. Eventually, and unless it just happened, and it was under the radar because AEW is public. I suppose if it's a small enough stake, they don't necessarily have to file anything about it, right? Like it's only larger things that they do that. But
Yeah. I'm just glad we're right. Nobody's gonna give us the credit. Botch Wrestling Podcast said it when we talked about the deal. So be it. I'll just continue to shit talk Uncle Dave on X and Twitter and tell him I was right. Well, he said no, that's not happening. Which then the payoff to Uncle Dave makes more sense now. If he knew this was going on and Tony said, "Hey, for 10 grand a year, would you not say anything about this?" Right? So yeah. Yeah. It's not so the percentage isn't known, or if it is, it's not really out there. But they're referring to it as minority. So for it to be minority, it has to be under 10%, right?
I just thought it had to be less than 50%, but I guess I don't know.
Interesting.
That's You probably would know that better than I. It's not my space.
Yeah. Oh, Dan, I play Xbox during my job. You know this. Discovery, but it's seemingly so. This says it's seemingly under 10% due to WBD being a publicly traded company, and anything more than oh, here we go. So here's what you were talking about. So
Yeah.
more than 10% would have to be disclosed. It's also not known whether the percentage increase is part of AEW's most recent media rights in 24. Likewise, there's no details on what should happen if AEW were ever to move to another media entity. Which is crazy, right? Because now with Brody King having these anti-ice chants, they said he's even getting these anti-ice chants when he's walking into the arena prior to the show. And that's what's getting WB kind of scared. But this does make a good point, detailing how it ties politically because, Donald Trump is in the Hall of Fame for WWE. Linda is the current U.S. Education Secretary. Paul Levesque, the guy that stuck his ass with a needle for his whole entire life, is the vice chair of President's Council on Sports, Fitness, Nutrition, and of course, a great friend of Sweet Potato Hitler. So yeah, this is kind of nuts because. But did you see that WB is back now talking to Paramount? I guess they agreed to the deal with Netflix, but they were allowed to continue their talks.
Yeah, Netflix granted a waiver for them to reopen the talks, but that Warner Brothers is still backing the Netflix deal, but will open the talk again to see. It's only 7 days, I guess, that the talks can be open. So I don't know how much you can do, in 7 days, and whether or not Paramount wants to up its offer, you know. But the vote is March 20th, I'm reading.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah. That's interesting. That is very interesting because it's like.
Netflix gets matching rights too, according to what I'm seeing here. That if for some reason Paramount comes in with a deal that Warner Brothers says, "All right, I'll take that,"
yeah,
Netflix has the right to match it. Man, this is gonna get crazy though. We talked about this before. That this is just gonna get crazy if they combine, if Netflix buys this, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't make like that's what I mean. It doesn't make sense. What also doesn't make sense to tie this back to WWE, AJ Styles has been retired for 2 weeks, but now we're having a tribute plan for him next week on Raw.
Are we getting to a unretirement angle
already?
I don't know. Like I don't know. Like he wouldn't.
Paulie on The Sopranos has spent more time in jail than AJ's been retired in that show. Like, what are we doing here? And I guess it would also feature Brock's first appearance since the Rumble. Great. It's going to be a great episode. Yeah, it's weird, right? Because we saw him trademark the Phenomenal Tour, which everybody said, like, it's the shows he wanted to do outside of WWE. But then WWE's doing a tribute. So do you think WWE's doing a tribute show to not, like, to talk him out of doing, like, a Phenomenal Tour? Of like, hey, if you don't do this, we'll give you, like, I get it. They're down in Atlanta, right? So that's where he is. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do. Like, I tend to think he's actually done, but
Yeah, I do too. I just don't know what this is about.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't do this sooner, but if you're doing it, right? But whatever.
All right. Well, now that we got the hot topics out of the way, let's get back to the Raw that's set up. That has set up Elimination Chamber in Chicago. Chicago with the dude wipes plastered everywhere. Stupid. They just get the most random. You know what I mean, Dan? The most random sponsors. Like, what are your thoughts on Raw, Dan?
Is green.
Yeah. Until it's not. Haha.
What are your thoughts on Raw? I thought it was okay. I think for me, and I tend to think you might agree with this, the highlight of it was Javon Evans winning the triple threat to get into the chamber. I mean, I'm just already sitting here going like, what crazy shit is that kid gonna do in the chamber? You know,
it's gonna be something we've never seen before.
Right. So I was happy to see that. I think that's gonna be really cool. The rest of it, like, it was fine. The Punk promo was okay. It wasn't, the best promo he's had, but it was kind of like it was a little different, a little bit more subdued, but it was good. You know, I'm happy too to see like Penta, like number one contender for Intercontinental Championship now. I think that could go somewhere. So that could be interesting. But like, I don't know, the vision and like that stuff, whatever's going on there, like in the Masked Man, like, okay, great, but where's this going now? Because like it's just the same thing every show is something's going on with the vision and the Masked Man comes out, does a curb stomp, and runs away. And like we have nothing progressing on that. I know I don't know if it has to do with this person or not, but they have this crate that can't be opened until the chamber, like, you know, today's version of the big egg sitting there waiting to hatch at Survivor Series. So we'll see what happens. But I don't know. It wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a great like knock 'em dead show, but there were certainly some highlights that I think are pretty good. And Javon Evans for me leads it.
Well, agreed. And I think AJ Lee was the second. It's not Jericho because if Fightful Select, which they're usually right, the belief is those around Jericho and AEW is that his deal was frozen after he took time off in 2025, so he would still have time to finish off on the deal, right? And they kind of picked Javon Evans. If you notice my boy Montez over here,
Oh yes.
he ain't climbing no cage anytime soon, Dan.
No, and I saw too that that Bianca kind of leaned into that a little bit, right? When it said something about like feeding him really well or something.
Mm-hmm. So he's gonna be battling diabetes very soon. So best of luck to Montez Ford on that future battle. But it started off with the Usos coming out to the crowd as they do. Then the Vision interrupts them. Um, what are your thoughts on the Vision? How's it going?
I mean, like, where's it going? Like, it's still to me like I think I said this about it the other day. Like, it's a rudderless ship still, right? Like, you've got Paul that's kind of driving it, and like they're doing this weird angle with Pierce, and like with this like interruptions and all that, but like it's just the same thing over and over again. And obviously, it's leading up for um, you know, something, someone's return, some surprise, the masked man, the crate, maybe, whatever it might be. But um, it's just not doing anything for me. And it's still a weird pairing of these three guys, and
Is Bronson the guy that takes the lead now?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think it's Austin.
You know,
Um, how'd you like the you simple-minded broccoli-haired bitch comment from LA Knight to Paul?
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
For sure.
But then again,
For sure.
why is he not getting a push? Did you hear that crowd when he came out? That's been, what, 3 consecutive years now? Of him being that hot? Like, I get it, there's an Unreal episode where, like, Triple H is upset at him. But... like, what are we doing? Like...
This is a little off topic, but since you said the Unreal episode, it made me think of it. Um, is it me, or is what's Abyss's real name? He's a producer there now.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Parks?
Yeah.
Right?
Something like that, yep.
Is it me, or has Unreal both seasons now depicted him as like the most nervous, anxious, like nervous Nelly guy in the world? Like the amount of times he's apologizing to the guys in Gorilla, and like he's all worked up about spots not being right or not going right. It's just a weird, like, I guess just a weird like perspective they've put on him a little bit. Um I would assume unintentionally, but obviously it's filmed. Like, just very weird, because I guess you wouldn't think that for the guy who was once Abyss. But
I
sorry,
think they...
it's off topic, but it made me think of it because he looks like he's gonna shit his pants every time, and he's like apologizing to Michael Hayes, apologizing to Triple H, apologizing to Bruce Pritchard, right? Like, oh my god, I'm so sorry we went a minute over. Oh my god, I can't believe that finish didn't go the way we expected. Like, I don't know. It's not very becoming of him.
Yeah, I heard he was kind of like that. Like, AJ kind of talked about him like that at TNA. Like, he's very focused on making sure that everything is like not, like, dialed in, I guess. But so I get it. Like, he probably feels like, if he wants to stay around wrestling, like, this is his best opportunity, right? But like, that's a good thing to bring up, because like with them owning TNA now, like with everything he's learning at WWE, do you eventually just send him over to TNA to run the behind scenes of TNA, because there's nobody that knows the history of TNA. He is the history of TNA. Him and AJ. Like they are why TNA still exists. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that'd be a quick fix for them. Um, yeah, I don't know. Part of me says Bronson's gonna be the next guy, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't put it on Logan because of how much the crowd hates him. Not that he'll get a title, but I think he'll get a push because it'll be like the
Yeah.
Roman thing all over again. You know what I mean? Like when people are like, "We're really getting Logan versus Reigns right now," and it makes it more
Right.
legitimate if he has Paul in his corner.
Yeah. That
So,
part's true.
um, could Becky and AJ be sneakily the best card on or the best match on the card?
Depends on Becky if she, like
Try
what kind of match I think she has. But I mean, it could be the underdog to be the sleeper. I mean, the sleeper pick to be like the match of the card. I mean, I tend to think like
because
Punk
AJ still
and
looks really
Finn
good.
should do that.
Well, yeah, Punk and
Yeah.
Finn should. Yeah, it shouldn't even be close. Like when we look back at this card a year from now, it should be like, hey, remember when Punk and Finn did this in the ring? Right? Like that's what it
Right.
should be. Like if everything's done right at this card and everything's decent leading up to this, that should be the thing that everybody talks about.
Yeah.
You think Becky drops the title
Yeah. Actually, I do.
clean, or you think something happens? Like does somebody come out
Mm,
to help her, but then that screws her up?
I think it'll be relatively clean. I think. I guess I don't know for sure, but
Yeah, I think AJ takes it for a bit too. Just because of her promo, like she came out there with some gra- gravitas of like, without me, there wouldn't be a women's generation. Like I think that's like, you know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, um, but yeah. And then, what do you think about the mind games that Punk keeps playing with Finn?
Yeah, that's where like I liked. I mean, that promo was a little, maybe less than what some people always think, but like it was good more with like the mind game part of it and like the cerebral part of it. So
Which he's
you
perfect at.
probably appreciate that a little more when you step back and look at it and think about it. Like in the moment, it's like, oh, this isn't that exciting. Like, but it's not meant to be, right? It was more of that. So yeah, no, that's been cool. Like in
You,
general, like it's been good, and like I certainly don't expect him to lose. And then like you're gonna go right back to like Monday, like the Monday after with him and Reigns, and it's gonna be like, here we go.
yeah.
Like can't wait for this to continue.
Is this the end all be all for Judgment Day with Finn? Then,
I
because
hope so.
I think with Punk involved, it has to be the final thread, right? Because Punk's the perfect guy to pull that final thread. Because this is the same stuff he did. This is the same stuff he did at Ring of Honor. It's the same stuff he did coming up through OV. Like he was the guy that could make you outthink yourself before you even got in the ring with him. That's what makes him the best in the world. You may not have had doubt until he started pulling it away, and you realized you have doubt. Um, so there was the triple threat of Asuka defeating Natty and Bailey, which I thought for sure Natty would be in there just with her new image. Um, Penta and El Grande and Barricano Kano kind of sucked, huh? And I don't think it was Penta's
The
fault.
match itself, the match itself did kind of suck, but it was nice to see. I'm glad he won.
Yeah, it's weird Um, yeah, it's weird because it seems like when El Grande and Barricano was last in the AAA too. He can't keep up with these guys. Like when it's a guy
Right.
that knows what like he can pull some stuff off here or there, but he can't keep up. Do you think we're getting a mask versus mask match at Mania between the original El Grande Americano and the 6'6" version of El Grande Americano?
Yeah, I assume that's where we're headed, right? Right, and in the same like token, like Dominic's headed to a hair match, right? Like he's gonna lose his hair, right? Like
You think so?
that why he's. I mean, is that why he's been growing it out the way he was growing about it? Like, I mean, maybe Vikingo can lose his, but
I just
you know,
think he's dirty. He's just embracing the dirty of the dirty Dom there, Dan. Yeah, in the Vision versus the Usos and LA Knight, I think we could have stopped at the promo and the show would have been a little bit better. I don't think we needed that 3-on-3 match. I get it set up Logan Paul getting stomped, but you could have got him stomped in the backstage area, and I think it would have been better, right? Because then it would have been like, okay, somebody's hunting them now backstage as well. Are you taking a guess on who it is? Are you for sure thinking it's Seth?
um, well, I mean, I think like obviously that's what they want everyone to think. So then I'm sitting there going, are they going to swerve it a little bit, like because it's almost trying to be too obvious, but then also could they just be doing that to say people are thinking we're going to swerve it and then we're not? I was reading something earlier that just came across my timeline. It's like it might be Grayson Waller, and it's in response to
Too short
Theory
though, don't you
coming.
think so?
Well, yeah, well, maybe. Well, I don't know actually.
That
Like
that that's a great idea,
the
but it's
internet,
like
the internet is crazy, right? Because there were it came across my timeline because people were comparing the shoes that the masked man was wearing yesterday to shoes from Waller's Instagram he was wearing in a post from I think Saudi Arabia trip, and they were the same shoes. like like, and I'm sitting there going
well,
like, wow. First of all, like I, I'm never shocked, but still always amazed at the little things that people
catch. Yeah.
find
It's like
and
the
figure out. Like, because you're taking a picture from a month ago or a month and a half ago almost, right? Like a month ago for sure. And you're comparing a all black Nike shoe that does have some like unique patterning to it, and being able to pick it out of a random Instagram post to a freeze frame of last night's Raw. And 12 hours later, the internet has sleuthed out that Grayson Waller is wearing the same shoes as the Masked Man. And while that doesn't necessarily prove it, it certainly helps. Like, so, and then, yeah, the Grayson Waller, like, so as far as whether or not it's like tall enough or whatever, like, maybe not, but it wouldn't shock me if they are using different people until they get, of similar build until
well,
they like do the actual review.
I sent you the one on the Rumble, right? When whoever the guy was at the Rumble had like that blonde beard coming through, and people started saying, "Look, it's the same way that Jake Paul wears his beard." And then other people were saying, "Oh, Logan has some explaining to do." But if the Masked Man came out last night, unless Logan hired this person, why would Logan take the stomp, right? Unless he's working this backwards to make himself clear. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's,
Right.
but yeah, it's funny. But it's like the same thing with the Marvel films, right? Like everybody waits to the after credits for that extra like minute and 35 seconds, and then they start guessing at what the next like Avengers film is going to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and it's like,
Right.
and like they get close, but they're not there yet. But it's like, how'd you get that close? Um, yeah. So went through those matches. Penta still has a badass entrance. Yeah, and that was pretty it, right? Like that was pretty much Raw. Um, real quick, how do we feel about Finn having the old m- music back? I'm loving it.
No, yeah.
I'm loving
Yeah,
it.
me too.
Feeling any certain way about JD being back?
No, not really.
He's great in the ring, but I don't think he adds much as a personality. Right? Like he could
No,
pull off some
the
crazy
quote
stuff in
unquote
the
like
ring.
right, and this like return or whatever you want to call it wasn't really much. Like he just walked out with them, and they're like, "Oh, look who's back!" And it's like, "Jeez."
Yeah. Um, let's talk about this real quick though. Going into this match, you thought it was Gunther that was getting the chamber, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Do you think they're that high on Javon Evans, or you think they need somebody of his skill to pull something off in that chamber?
No, I think they don't need somebody of his skill. Like he can do a lot, and then you just need somebody that can do something to support what he's about to do.
My
Right? Like, who was it that?
M- M- Montez crawled up the chamber before, and then just dropped upside down. My
Right.
fear,
Right.
my fear is of them starting to use Javon Evans like they did Kofi in the Rumble. You could always expect Kofi to jump from the ring apron to the wall to the stairs to a chair back to the apron, right, without his feet touching the ground. That's my fear. Is I just don't like. I think Javon Evans is a title holder within the next 3 to 5 years. I think if you put the IC belt on him, it would be huge, right? Like I think it would add a lot to that title. Um, yeah, so it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. Who do you think walks away from the chamber? The winner.
Um, who's left?
Because it's only 2 weeks away, right? It's the 28th. So we got
Let's
Orton,
see.
Knight, Cody, and Javon Evans, and you got two more left.
Well, if you believe the rumors of where we're headed with Drew, then it's got to be either Cody or um, who's left? Carmelo Hayes, Damian Priest, Trick Williams, and then Bronson Reed, Jey Uso, and the original. No, we already got that, right? Oh no,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Bronson Reed, Jey Uso, and the original El Grande Americano. Those are the six left to get two spots. So
I think
Carmelo
Bronson
Hayes,
Reed takes
Damian
it.
Priest, Trick. Okay, so Carmelo Hayes, Damian Priest, Trick Williams. I assume.
Carmelo.
No, I think it'll be Trick Williams. I think they'll put him in the chamber. I don't think he'll win, but I think they'll put him in the chamber to, kind of give him to highlight him a little bit.
To show that Hunter's not racist anymore.
Yeah, I mean Carmelo could do well. All three of them in theory could do that, but
Yeah,
yeah.
so he's batting 1,000. Um,
And then yeah, Bronson, Jay, and the original Grande Americano. Yeah, I guess it would be Bronson out of those three. Maybe Jay, but probably Bronson.
so
Um,
if you had to make the choice tonight, Who do you think takes that one?
I think they're gonna have Cody win.
Jesus Christ. Um,
I mean, the rumors keep pointing to a triple threat with Cody, Drew, and
I know.
Jacob. So, you know, and Jacob can't be one of the ones in the chamber. So if
Right, because
that's
then it
true,
cancels
it's
them
got to
out.
be Cody.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
unless you want to. Oh no, because that would be at WrestleMania. Yeah, I was gonna say unless you wanted to do a Cody Orton thing finally, you wait till after WrestleMania and you put Randy over. Give him a belt, give him the belt, and then let Cody chase him, I guess.
do you think they shock us
I
and
don't
Jacob takes the title?
not yet. I don't think so.
So then it's going to be Rhodes win Chamber, picks Drew. Fatu takes the loss at the Chamber, but earns another title shot against McIntyre at Mania. Because that's what it would technically
Yeah.
be, right? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That seem weird? I mean, this is
No.
me being too professional about it, but would you be upset if Jacob took that title?
I wouldn't be upset. I just don't know that I see what they're doing here with him, you know.
No, but just even if he took it at Mania, do you think he could do some good things with it?
Um
Because right now I'm bored of Drew and Cody.
yeah, I am too in that sense.
I just don't see it with them anymore. Like, I think Cody, if you're gonna put a title on Cody, he has to go away for a little bit, go back and find that demon that he found in New Japan, where he did all those panel commercials of him sitting in a room smoking a cigar, and he looked like a mafia boss, right? Like that's what he has to, like that like he has to bring that heel version of himself out. He brings that heel version of himself out to WWE, they'll make $1 billion plus again. Just on him alone. Cause who's better than that version, right? Who's better than the guy that started the internet chant of FTR, right? He started that just as a joke during one of those cliches he shot.
right.
The world went on fire the day he was sitting back at that dojo, smoking that cigar, and pulled out that Desert Eagle that had his Crossroads logo on it and put it on the table. He looked like a Yakuza boss easily right there. And he just set New Japan on fire. And everywhere he went, Ring of Honor, because I was at the Ring of Honor show at Riverworks, where he specifically said fuck Hunter, which was awesome. Everybody went berserk. Like, it's like he's done a lot since he's been back. He's cemented himself as maybe top 10 of all time. But if we're going to truly see how far Cody can go, I think he needs to take that step back, come back as the bad guy. He got the perfect alliance in NXT. He shows up as the bad guy, gets the title back because he screwed somebody over. You introduced Ricky Saints to the main line, and they're back and going again. Did you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, why not at this point? Why not do it? Why not do it, Dan? You know what I'm like? It just so yeah. I don't know. I would be okay with Jacob getting that title. Drew's been doing the same stuff Drew's been doing since he came back, or since he was supposed to be the Bloodline Hunter, and I'm like, all right, cool, bro. Like, people mention your name, you take out a hit list. That's every bad guy from the territory days. You're just bigger because you have growth hormone. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, I just like, he hasn't shown me anything, right? Like, Punk shows you something with the title. Punk came out and said, "You know, those backstage are pissed off that I'm taking this match at Chamber because they're afraid it's gonna screw up WrestleMania." That's almost like them thinking I'm gonna drop this belt. There's no way in hell that Finn beats me, right? Drew can't come out there and
Right.
give you that promo. He needed
No.
Cody to run him down at his house with friggin' Adam Pearce as playing bodyguard for anything exciting to happen with Drew. Like, I get it. He's big. He fits the part. He's a more athletic Sheamus. But it's like, I don't see it. Like, I get he carried it during COVID, and they're basically thanking him for that. So, I don't know. It's interesting, man. But that was Raw. Well, I mean, not bad, right? Going into the Chamber, we still have SmackDown, still have Raw, and still have another SmackDown before the Chamber, correct? Yeah.
Correct.
So, I'm sure on SmackDown we'll see Jade not defend her title again, which would be cool. Um, but real quick, before, was there anything we missed on Raw that you would like to talk about, Daniel?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, there is one thing. What's your guess on the box? Who's in the box?
Um, I mean, I'm assuming this is the Masked Man stuff, but I guess
A few individuals I know on Reddit have been saying it's Janelle Grant popping out of there.
okay.
Dan, you really can't go to Reddit past 11 o'clock at night. It gets wild, man. It gets wild, especially in that score circle forum. Um, I thought it was Jericho, but I just saw that Fightful article today, so it's not Jericho anymore.
I did see some stuff that they thought maybe it could be Jericho, but then what are we doing with like undoing the bots at Elimination Chamber and it's Jericho? Like unless there's like an unknown mystery spot in the chamber, which we're not gonna. Well, as far as we know, we're not gonna have. Like what are we doing with that box? You know. So
Do you think it's
I
a
assumed it was a
debut?
Vision thing, but
Yeah.
his.
So the Vision, so if Bronson Reed's in there, that opens up on the Chamber and screws over Bronson Reed. Or is that the debut of the Seth Rollins statue that was melting the first time he got it?
Got him with Sting and like all of Sting's.
Face paint? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was Jericho. I'm all out. I I'll say it's Seth Rollins. I'll say it's his way of getting back. Or like it's just the mask and the black sweatshirt in there when they open it up and then Seth attacks from behind or something. Right? Like, I don't know. But yeah. So that was Raw. Um Oh, and did you see the other funny thing? Somebody said it's Hunter, and at the beginning of the show, the front door of the box is gonna drop down, and Hunter's gonna pop out and say, "We're in a new generation of wrestling again for the 12th time this year.
It's also always possible, right?
Right.
Like,
Right. But yeah,
that's
so
hilarious.
that'll be that. This should be a good show. I'll be watching it. I'll be watching it.
Yeah.
Real quick, TNA, just throwing this out there since we don't have any other WWE stuff. TNA Wrestling is looking for people to join their street team in Cleveland and Syracuse because they're heading there for a couple of shows. Oh, and Dan, Bodies from Offset, Jid, and Drowning Pool is the official theme song of the Chamber now. That's cool. But yeah, it's TNA's doing 2-night shows. I believe in Syracuse. Yeah, televised 2-night event. April 14th, April 15th. The 7 p.m. both nights. Tickets will go on sale February 27th. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool that they're getting it. That they're getting a 2-night event. And it kind of works out for Moose, right? Because that's where he played college football at Syracuse. So he's kind of going back home for a bit. But yeah, good for them trying to make headways in this crazy time of wrestling and deals and prices and getting stuff done. So that'll work out well, I think, for them. Should be a good show. Seems like a decently small arena, so nothing too big, but they should be able to get it done. But yeah. Anyways, I think that's it on Raw. Anything else you want to talk about, Dan? Well, we're here. Anything else wrestling wise? Anything piqued your mind? No?
No,
That's
not in
it?
particular.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think anything in particular. It's not a. Yeah.
Well, if Dan doesn't get
Just gotta
called
get
up
to
to
the chamber.
Stanford, yeah, we'd have to get to the chamber. 28th, Saturday night. Get to the chamber. Hopefully it's good. Punk retains. AJ wins.
Chicago crowd should be really good with both
Yes.
Punk and
Yes.
AJ on
Yes.
on the dock there.
And pre-order WWE 2K26. I believe I saw something that said Larry is a manager card in the My Faction.
Yes, I did see that, and they brought Punk to tears when they let him know that they're doing that.
Oh yeah, I'm all for that. So more Larry. Put the IC title on him. Let's go. Let's get it going. But yeah, until next week.
They've also announced AJ Lee isn't going to be in the game.
She is or isn't?
Is, I believe.
Did they say anything about
and
AAA?
2015 version of her?
Oh, with the Diva belt. The psychotic version of her.
I thought I read that AAA could be some downloadable content in the future.
Okay.
So SmackDown Hotel website has like what they're saying is confirmed. So downloadable content is going to be China, Joe Hendry, Kane of 98, 98 Macho Man, which is the black and white madness version. Roddy Piper from 98, which would be like a little bit of post WCW, right? Like stuff. Or no, WCW Piper, right? DX Shawn Michaels from the Monday Night Wars. Stephanie McMahon from 2000. King of Kings ring entrance Stephanie.
So that's when she got kicked through the table, I think.
Yeah. A 99 version of The Rock, 98 version of Triple H, and then they're going to have some WrestleMania 42 personas as downloadable content.
Oh, supposedly they're having Ring of Honor TNA Punk in there too. That's a good one to get. Because now they can do that.
So non-playable characters like managers, like I don't know if this one will stick, but they have Ava, Bobby the Brain Heenan, that's kind of cool. Mick Foley as a manager, Miss Elizabeth, that's new one. Mr. Fuji, Paul Heyman, Theodore Long, Larry. Um, let's see who else we have.
They have the Rockin' as the final boss in here. It looks like, because that's what he wore as the final boss.
Let's see who else is there that like they have some legends. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy that we probably haven't seen before. Oh, 08 Punk. That's kind of. Oh yeah, there I see the Ring of Honor TNA Punk. Yeah, so NXT people, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints in there. That's good.
They'll probably be called up afterwards, right? You think after Mania?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so gonna look good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's expensive though.
The versions of it.
Yeah, the Monday Night Ward edition.
I hate when they do this.
Yeah, it's 150. It's up $25. Yeah. Yeah, it's up $25. So have to see what's happening. You know?
Yeah, pre-order.
Yeah, the early access begins March 6th.
Monday Night War edition. What do we have? We have Attitude Era edition, King of Kings edition, that standard edition has Punk on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we getting with each one?
The Monday Night Wars, you get the base game, Monday Night War Edition pack, King of Kings pack, the Attitude Era Edition pack, WrestleMania 42 pack, the Ringside Pass Premium seasons 1 through 6, which makes up like the full pass of DLC superstars. The 32,500 in VC Superstar Mega Boost. So when you create your wrestler, he doesn't start at like a 60, he's closer to like an 80 or 90. And the Joe Hendry pack. Like, if it's a game that you're going to play out through the year, then it's worth it, right? Because there's going to be a lot of different things out throughout the year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's still up $25. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It's up $25 because I think for the Bloodline edition we paid 120.
I think it was 120 or 125. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's rough. That is rough, a little bit at least.
Yeah.
So it's like then like they really get you, right? Because like how do you not want that stuff? You know?
Yeah, because if you're gonna play it throughout the year.
Right. Did they officially confirm too that like they're doing like a CM Punk story?
Yeah, that's I don't know if it's confirmed, but that's what they're saying the showcase is gonna be because he's on the cover.
surprised they're not like leaning into that more in the marketing of it.
There's probably a bit that they can't say, like because there's a good portion of it that they probably can't use.
I mean, right off the bat, like I just want to see the showcase mode right off the bat. Oh, they did do. I guess they did do a trailer for it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I didn't realize they actually did a trailer.
yeah. It was part of the trailer when they announced him.
Yeah. Confirmed matches include WrestleMania 41 Triple Threat with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 27 versus Randy Orton, and Undertaker WrestleMania 29, and also Drew McIntyre Bad Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Those are confirmed matches in the thing. The mode features alternate history for if Punk never left in 2014, and dream matches such as facing Eddie Guerrero or Austin in the original CMV Punk Villian arena. Sorry, Punk Villian arena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and it has an additional optional mode called Gauntlet Mode. Players can select to be CM Punk or AJ Lee to defeat 20 consecutive opponents to unlock all showcase rewards instantly instead of playing through the whole showcase.
Yeah, that's cool though.
Yeah.
Like that's sweet. So it should be good. I haven't decided what edition I'm buying yet. I mean, I do want all of it because I play it throughout the year. It's one of the few games I play throughout the year. So, but it's just like it's just crazy. So, but yeah, I think we'll be back next week leading up to the chamber, unless one of us get the call from Stanford to come fix the writing. But until then, this will be up sometime tonight or later tomorrow evening, depending on when it loads and gets cleaned up. Botch Wrestling Pod on Twitter, Botch Wrestling Pod on Instagram. Like the post there, please help us get out of the crazy algorithm that things seem to get stuck in now. But until then, folks, adios. Thanks for paying attention, and we'll be back.